Fukuoka, and it is very regrettable how the events unfolded because very innocent people were involved. The commander of Colombia's armed forces, General Hugo Lopez, describes the bombing as a terrorist act and blames it on dissidents of the now defunct Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia that still operate in the region. I'm Donna Warner.
Sebastian Solway of Kenya has become the first person to break the fabled 2-hour barrier in the marathon, a huge moment in sports history. Solway smashed the men's world record by 65 seconds, winning the London Marathon. News and analysis at townhall.com. Ohio's Republican primary for governor is a few weeks away, but there are a few signs that the top candidate sees it as a competitive race.
The primary season has exposed potential vulnerabilities for former presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy. The biotech billionaire is focused mostly on his likely general election opponent, Democrat Amy Acton. She's the state's former public health director. Ramaswamy feels so assured of gliding through the May 5th vote that his campaign has all but ignored his GOP opponent so far. That's Casey Puch, an engineer and vehicle designer who calls himself the car guy. Voter turnout is key in this election. If enough voters stay home in the fall, Ohio could see its first Democratic governor in 20 years. Bernie Bennett reporting.
Roughly 20,000 seafarers and hundreds of vessels are stuck in the Persian Gulf, unable to cross the Strait of Hormuz or remains effectively shut by Iran. Some crews facing critical shortages of food and water. More on these stories, townhall.com.
WVBF is your hometown radio station. And one of the things we like to do to support people in your hometown is to run community announcements. If you do belong to a nonprofit group or organization, or if you're an official with a city or town government, send your community announcements along to our email address. It's safe, it's fast, and it allows us to get right back to you if we have a question. Send your community announcements to WVBF1530@hotmail.com. That's WVBF1530@hotmail.com. Thank you for listening. Your hometown radio station is AM 1530, WVBF and 99.7 FM. The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host and do not express the views of WVBF ownership or Hometown Talk Radio. Content aired on all programs are those of the host and their guests.
It's time for Middleboro Matters on WVBF 1530 AM and 99.7 FM. Hosted by Joey Driscoll. Call in at 508-82-1106. And now, here's Joey Driscoll with Middleboro Matters.
And good morning, everybody. Welcome to Middleboro Matters. I am Joey Driscoll. Today is the 27th of April, 2026, and we have a great show planned for you today, as we always do on Monday. And got a lot to get to today. Got our sports segment. Of course, we have a lot of Red Sox to get to today. I think that'll be the majority of our talk on the sports side of things today. We definitely are going to touch upon the Celtics, for sure. And might touch upon the Bruins. We might wait until Friday to touch upon the Bruins. Because on Friday we might be talking about a post mortem of the Bruins season, unfortunately. I think they will get eliminated. Maybe I'm wrong, but they are down 3-1 here, and it's incredibly difficult to win a series being down 3-1, and that's what the Bruins are right now. I don't like their chances here in this remaining couple of games here with the Buffalo Sabres. The Buffalo Sabres have just played better. They've just played better. We might talk about them on Friday, though, with Eric. Speaking of Eric will be calling in 11:45 a.m. this morning here on Middleboro Matters with some very exciting news. So stay tuned for that at 11:45 a.m. And he'll be also with me on Friday for the second hour of Hometown Talk. So stay tuned for that as well. Well, so again, we'll do our sports. Mostly going to be focusing on the Celtics and the Red Sox and the Red Sox organization today. Our transportation topic. We'll touch upon some things in the transportation world that are going on, especially the work that is being done on the MBTA as that continues. That always seems to be going on, no matter what, as well. So we'll be talking a little bit about that. And there's some transportation related events to talk about too that I want to get out to people as well. We'll take your phone calls as well. 508-822-1106, 508-822-1106 is the number to call. You want to call in and talk about what's on your mind this morning, whether it be something sports related or transportation related or anything going on locally. 508-822-1106 is the number to call. Lakeville is going to have a couple of big things happening at their May 19th special town election. On Tuesday, May 19th, Lakeville voters will be asked to either approve or deny a Proposition 2.5 override to meet the town's fiscal year 2027 budget request. A lot of towns in the area have had their issues with the budget. Of course, that's a big issue there in Middleboro as well. And that'll continue to be talked about here in the month of May as we get closer to town meeting, which I believe has been confirmed to be happening in June. We'll try to get that information out to everybody here as well. But the Proposition 2.5, this is now going back to the Lakeville story here. Proposition 2.5 states that a town or city cannot increase its total property tax by more than 2.5 unless residents approve an override or a debt exclusion. An override is a permanent property tax increase that is designed to grant a community the ability to fund recurring costs that will likely continue into future years. And usually it's a set, time or things like that. A debt exclusion is temporary increase that would only last during the lifetime of a specific capital project, which does not apply in this situation. If the voters approve the override, which will be on the ballot there on the May 19th town election, it will be added to the June 8th town meeting warrant, and where it must also be approved before going into effect. The question will appear in 3 parts on the ballot to spread out the override, which would be $4,915,700 across 3 years. If all 3 parts are approved, the override would go into effect across the 3 years, beginning with $2,615,700 on July 1st of this year, followed by $1.3 million on July 1st of next year, and then July 1st of 2028, it would be $1 million. Town Administrator Andrew Soapforth said the decision to split the override into 3 parts was generated by the observation that there is a big need for an increase over the next 3 to 5 years. He noted that the override were enacted, if it was enacted in 1 year, the tax increase would be $1,000. So here goes on a little bit. Voting will be taking place on Tuesday, May 19th, between the hours of 12 p.m. and 8 p.m. at the Loon Pond Lodge, located at 28 Precinct Street. And the additional information sessions before Election Day is going to be on Wednesday of this week, April 29th, May 6th, and May 13th. All 3 meetings will be held at the Public Library in Lakeville, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. as well. And there was an informational meeting as well on Saturday where the director of finance and operations for the Freetown Lakeville School District reviewed the cuts Lakeville would face if the override doesn't pass. So this is a big deal as well. If you're in Lakeville, give us a call, 508-822-1106, 508-822-1106. That was an article there from Damascus Week, kind of going over this. But what are your thoughts on this major vote here on May 19th during the special town election, and then the town meeting as well, that's going to be happening in June? 508-822-1106 is the number to call. Also happening, some events that are happening. In addition to delivering mail, letter carriers will be picking up donations of food during the annual Stamp Out Hunger Drive. That's going to be taking place not this Saturday, but the following Saturday, May the 9th. Postal customers are asked to leave donations of healthy, non-perishable food in a bag near their mailbox. The carriers will pick them up for distribution to local agencies to help feed those in need. So that's is an interesting and great event as well. That happens again, like I said, every year as well. So we have that going on as well. Like I mentioned, I'm going to try to get the information for everyone about the town election. I saw that online for Middleboro. I saw that online. So I'm going to try to get that here during the show today. One other thing I want to mention here for the stories before we take our first commercial break. The Rotary Club, their online auction has raised $13,000 for community causes. The recent online auction, which was hosted by the Rotary Club of Middleboro and Lakeville, which happened back in March, raised about $13,000 for the club's charitable and educational foundation. These funds are already earmarked for local initiatives, which includes academic scholarships for local students, tutoring programs at the Henry B. Berkley and Mary K. Good schools in Middleboro, and various community service projects across Middleboro and also Lakeville. The club thanked the auction's sponsors, donors, bidders, and winners. The club meets at 6:15 p.m. on Wednesdays at the Fireside Grill in Middleboro. And you can go to www.middleboroughRotary.com for more info. All right, 11:17 a.m. Let's take our first commercial break right now. When we come back, we'll have that information about town meeting for Middleboro. And we'll get into probably also some local things as well. And then after the 11:30 news, we'll do a very quick sports segment and a very quick transportation segment. And at 11:45 a.m., we'll be joined on the phone by Eric Dunn. He's got some exciting news to talk about as well. And I think we'll wait till Friday on this. I was going to quickly ask him what his thoughts were on the Boston Red Sox and their new manager, but I'll wait till Friday to talk about that. This will just be squarely about one thing, and it's exciting news. So we will talk to him about that at 11:45 a.m. this morning. Well, let's take our first commercial break right now. We'll be right back here on Middleboro Matters on WVBF 1530 AM, 99.7 FM.
Electric would like to share a quick safety tip with you. Whether you're planting shrubs or putting in a new mailbox, DigSafe will help locate underground pipes and wires on your property and mark them to help prevent any damage. Before you dig, you must call 811 for any project that requires digging, drilling, excavating, grading, or trenching. A damaged gas line may create an explosion hazard that could result in loss of service, severe property damage, or worse. Don't take a chance. Call 811 before you dig.
Hey, Ron, do you see this thing by the TNLP about cash payments? Due to the discontinuation of the penny, the City of Taunton Municipal Departments will be rounding cash change to the nearest 5 cents.
No.
Should I mention that on
Where-
the
Yes, absolutely.
All right.
But just to reiterate, that's the cash payments only.
Yeah, cash payments.
Yep.
Due
So when
to the
people go-
continuation of the penny.
Where'd you find that? Is it on the KMOP website or is it
Facebook via TMLP.
KMOP Facebook? Okay. Because I'm going to mention it now. I'm probably going to mention it tomorrow.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. I want to do 268. Go back on the air.
Voices of Our Region is a live, community-centered radio program that explores the rich cultural histories and contributions of the diverse populations that have shaped southeastern Massachusetts. It's hosted by Louis Laura Fridays and airs from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at AM 1530 and 99.7 FM WBBF. Join Louis for some great hometown conversations, stories, and interviews with people about the traditions that continue to define our area. That's Voices of Our Region with Louis Laura from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. right here on your hometown radio station, WBBF.
Okay. 236. Okay. Find that information. There it is, town meeting. And welcome back to Middleboro Matters. I am Joey Driscoll, 11:20 a.m. here. Got a couple of big things to mention here in this next couple of minutes. So again, we'll definitely be pushing our sports there till after the 11:30 news, and also quickly talking about transportation as well. We'll be quick on those as well because we have a caller calling in at 11:45 a.m. this morning. That's Eric Dunn calling in this morning at 11:45 a.m. So, town meeting for Middleboro. The annual town meeting will be held on June 1st, 2026 at 7 p.m. at the Middleboro High School, 71 East Grove Street. Interim town manager Joseph M. Perkins has not released the budget, which is being finalized with the assistance of the Finance Committee. That is information there that I saw on Facebook from Middleboro News. Again, at Middleboro High School, town meeting will be June the 1st at 7 p.m. So there you go. Wanted to definitely talk about that, definitely mention that, because that is going to be a big town meeting, I'm sure, when that does happen on June the 1st. Now, a couple of other things that I want to definitely mention here is today is hydrant flushing in Middleboro. Hydrant flushing is scheduled today. It's going on now as we speak until about 3 p.m. this afternoon. The water department will be conducting maintenance in your area. Section 1, there's a couple of sections here. That includes streets like Wareham Street, Rocky Gutter, Ashley Lane, Abbey Lane, as well, Walnut Street. Section 2 is Miller Street, Walnut Street as well, Benson Street, Cinnamon Ridge, Katy Drive, Justine's Way. And then Section 3 is places like Spruce Street and onto the Rochester line, Fieldstone Circle, Locust Street, Pine Street, and Sarah Reed Hunt Way as well. Important tips for residents: check water clarity before cooking or laundry. Run cold water until clear, and avoid hot water. Avoid using the hot water while discoloration is present to keep sediment out of your tank. So, hydrant flushing is happening across Middleboro today. Today, Monday, April 27th, until 3 p.m. this afternoon. A very interesting event here happening at the Middleboro Public Library. Now, the Middleboro Public Library has a lot of great and fun and interesting events that happen throughout the year. And this one, no different. The Middleboro Historical Association presents Shipwrecks of Cape Cod in the Islands, Tales of Nautical Misfortune with Nancy Franks of Frankly Speaking. 6 p.m. on Wednesday, April 29th will be when the event is, and that is going to be at the Middleboro Public Library. Free to the public, no reservations are needed. So that is really a big event as well. Again, admission will be free. No registration necessary. Call 508-946-2470 with any questions that you may have. And Nancy Franks has had many different events at the Middleboro Public Library, and they're always very interesting ones as well. Now, something I just saw on the break as well that I want to mention here, and it's for the city of Taunton. And this is from the City of Taunton Treasurer. Effective May 1st, which is Friday, May 1st, we will no longer be giving back pennies for cash transactions. Everything will now be rounded to the nearest nickel. Please see the flyer for details. I'm going to talk about the flyer in just a second. This is from the TMLP as well on Facebook. I just saw this on Facebook. So for cash payments, due to the discontinuation of the penny, the City of Taunton municipal departments will be rounding cash payments or cash change to the nearest 5 cents. And this is how the rounding change is going to work. If the cash payment ends in 0.01 or 0.02, round to 0.00. If it ends in 3 or 4, rounding to 0.05. If it ends in 0.06 or 0.07, round to 0.05. And if it ends in 0.08 and 0.09, they rounded to 0.10. As an alternative, you can pay by check or pay with exact change. We appreciate your understanding. So there you go. That's from the TMLP. Again, this change will go into effect Friday, May 1st. So at the end of this week. Again, a lot of talk about the penny, a lot of talk about the discontinuation of the penny. And this is, you're going to start seeing this quite a bit, I think, in other places pretty soon here now that the discontinuation of the penny is starting to take hold. So I wanted to mention that as well. With our sports, after the news here, going to talk a little bit more about this manager change. There is a graphic going around online on Facebook of the Red Sox managers since 2002, and there's quite a few of them, and we're going to talk about that as well during the sports segment. And we'll probably mention it again with Eric on Friday as well. And what their records were and things like that. We're going to mainly focus on how this affects the minor league system as well, these changes, how this affects the minor league system, because it really does, especially AAA and AA. It really affects those teams. It affects Worcester and it affects Portland especially. Another thing I didn't mention this. I saw this yesterday, I believe I saw this. And this is an article from Radio Insight. Apparently, via Bloomberg, iHeartMedia is holding talks with SiriusXM to merge. Bloomberg reports that iHeartMedia has become a preliminary merger talk with SiriusXM. The deal would see Liberty Media, which is owned by SiriusXM, acquire iHeart to bring together the largest broadcasting station operator and the satellite powerhouse. A deal now would be centered on creating a podcasting juggernaut. I mean, iHeart's a podcasting juggernaut as it already stands already without the merger, in my opinion. As SiriusXM is a top broadcast distributor by reach, and iHeart is currently third. So, there you go. Maybe a Sirius XM is the bigger one, but I see a lot of iHeart podcasts out there too. It isn't the first time a possible combination of these two behemoths was proposed, as during iHeart's 2018 bankruptcy restructuring, Liberty sought to acquire 40% of iHeart, and it was its largest single shareholder post-restructuring, until selling its final almost 6 million shares for over $150 million in 2021. Bloomberg also notes that these talks are preliminary and that there are no guaranteed deals that will happen right now. Talks of iHeart shopping itself were the buzz in some circles at this week's NAB show, where they heard a few other companies sniffing around as well for a deal with that company. So, interesting stuff. That would be a huge, huge deal in the radio world. Not just the radio world, but the satellite radio world as well. iHeart owns a ton of stations across America. So that would be big for iHeart stations, and that would be big for Sirius XM as well. But it's 11:30 a.m. What are your thoughts on that? 508-822-1106. We'll take your phone calls on that too. But we're going to take our news break and we'll be right back. Wow, Ron.
What's that? I missed that. I'm sorry.
The iHeart Sirius XM
Oh, I heard Sirius XM. Yeah.
potential
I was
merger.
listening like with one ear.
Yeah. Wow. That would be
big.
That would be insane. That would be really good, I think, for both companies. Because I think iHeart especially is hurting. I think that's probably why they're doing this. iHeart is hurting bad. And Sirius XM still has that niche audience that I feel like iHeart could benefit from.
Confidential security is under the microscope. It's being reviewed at the White House following Saturday evening's attack. The White House Correspondents' Dinner in D.C.
Chief of Staff Susie Wiles will hold a meeting this week.
I'm gonna take my
the White House
second commercial break
Operations
coming out
Team,
of
the
this.
Secret Service, and the
Yeah.
Department of Homeland Security to
No,
discuss security protocol at events with the president. There are several large, high-profile events in the months ahead where Donald Trump is expected to participate. Among them, he set to mark the nation's 250th anniversary, oversee the U.S. co-hosting the World Cup, and hold political rallies ahead of November's midterm elections. Ray Clugston, Washington.
The House reconvenes today. They vote on a bipartisan bill to fully fund the Department of Homeland Security, and that includes the Secret Service. Iran's latest peace proposal reportedly lacks one key ingredient sought by the U.S. That's a pledge by Tehran to give up its nuclear ambition.
Two officials with knowledge of the Iran proposal say Tehran also wants the US to end its blockade of the country as part of its proposal to lift its chokehold on the strait. Oil prices are rising after negotiations between the US and Iran stalled over the weekend, and the standoff in the strait remains despite a ceasefire. Iran's foreign minister is in Russia Monday to meet President Vladimir Putin as part of a trip that includes stops in Pakistan and Oman. Meanwhile, Pakistan's leaders are continuing to try to bridge significant gaps between the two countries to revive the talks. I'm Charles.
Last night's powerful storm swept North Texas, left at least 2 people dead, and there is a good deal of property damage as well. Portions of Oklahoma were also hard hit by the storms. The Dow's down 114 points, NASDAQ off 53. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Health insurance rates are surging in America, leaving millions without affordable options. If you're sick of having paychecks eaten up by healthcare costs or dealing with mega corporations, then listen to this. Christians don't need to waste money on a broken system. That's why I want to tell you about Christian Healthcare Ministries. It's an alternative to traditional health insurance at half the cost. With CHM, fellow believers contribute monthly to help pay each other's medical bills. appointments. There's no enrollment period, so you can join anytime. And you aren't restricted to provider networks, so you choose the doctors and hospitals you want. It's that simple. CHM is not insurance. It's a ministry that puts faith into action. Feel the difference of financial support and biblical care from fellow believers. Join CHM today by visiting chministries.org/wellness. That's chministries.org/wellness.
Billed as the largest powwow in North America, final year of the Gathering of Nations wrapping up over the weekend in New Mexico.
We're here on the last day for the last dance, so this is the last Gathering of Nations. So this powwow has been a major feature here in Albuquerque for more than 40 years, attracting people from all over the world to come and see the amazing dances and the drumming and the competitions that they have every year as part of this festival. And to see the grand entry is just amazing. You have dancers filling the arena with all of their colorful regalia and bells jingling, drums beating. It is really something to see.
And that's correspondent Susan Montoya Bryan. A couple of Israeli political heavyweights, Naftali Bennett and Yair Lapid, planning to join forces in the upcoming election to unseat Prime Minister Netanyahu. News and analysis, townhall.com. Growing number of cash-strapped blue states, Maine among them, are pushing higher taxes on top earners, but there are warnings that it's a strategy that could backfire.
Critics are calling it a risky strategy, pointing to Maine's recent hike on top earners to 9.15%, now among the highest in the nation. They argue these policies could drive wealthy residents, including small business owners, out of the state, shrinking the tax base. With states like California and New York already near the top, opponents say lower tax red states stand to benefit from the migration.
Correspondent Ken Lorman says lawmakers in Illinois and New Jersey are weighing new millionaire taxes, while Washington State has already enacted a 9.9% rate on top income. King Charles arriving in Washington, D.C. today. It's a 4-day state visit aimed at celebrating the United States' 250th anniversary. More on these stories, townhall.com.
Hi neighbor, Middleboro Gas and Electric would like to share a quick safety tip with you. Many people have been taking on home improvements this year. Have you also upgraded your electrical safety system? Older homes, like so many in our area, have outdated breakers and wiring that may not meet the high-powered needs of modern technology. A licensed electrician knows all the code requirements, including the latest updates we did just last year. You can find an easy
This one's old.
upgrades to consider.
What's that?
And
The Middleboro Gas and Electric here.
They're all old.
They're very old.
Voices of
They're
Our
all
Region is a
Yeah.
live, community-centered radio program that explores the rich cultural histories and contributions of the diverse populations that have shaped
Oh, good boy,
Southeastern
Joey, good boy,
Massachusetts.
running
It's
that
hosted by
commercial.
Louie Laura Friday
Running that
from
promo.
11 a.m. to
No, that's
12
sweet.
a.m., 15:30 and 99.7 FM WBBF. Join Louie for some great hometown conversations, stories, and interviews with people about the traditions that continue to define our area. That's Voices of Our Region with Louie Laura from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. right here on your hometown radio station, WBBF.
Hi, I'm Chris Keach of the Morning Wake Up News here at WBBF. My good friend Joey Driscoll has an amazing program all about Middleboro, Sunday mornings from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. It's called Middleboro in Review. He talks about sports. He talks about local events in Middleboro and anything of interest in Middleboro and beyond. So join him, Middleboro in Review with Joey Driscoll, Sunday morning, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. only here at AM 1530 WVBS and at 99.7 FM.
Okay. 238. 236. Yeah. 3, 2, 1, 0. And good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Middleboro Matters. I am Joey Driscoll. 11:38 a.m. We've got about 7 minutes left in the program here before we take a phone call from a guest. We're going to have a guest here 11:45 a.m. this morning. Eric Dunn will be calling in with some exciting news for everybody at 11:45 a.m. this morning. Before we get to our sports, it's gonna be kind of a quick little sports segment. We're pushing our transportation back to Friday. We'll do that on Friday. We just don't have much time left in the program, so not much going on anyway in the transportation world. The usual. A piece of a bridge fell on the tracks in Rhode Island. Talked a little bit about that yesterday. It's the usual. It's a normal week. In all seriousness, though, yikes! I don't understand why this stuff keeps happening. I really don't. This is the second big kind of thing that's happened to Rhode Island here when it comes to its infrastructure over the past several months. Get it together, Rhode Island. Get it together. It caused major issues with the Northeast Corridor as well. This problem. So get it together, Rhode Island. You got your normal MBTA construction going on as well for this month upcoming as well. We'll talk about that on Friday as well. And then we got some. I will mention this because this is important. I do want to mention this, and this is coming up before Friday, so I want to make sure I mention this. The MBTA Environmental Department is hosting a series of open houses to provide information about the noise mitigation program for South Coast Rail. The MBTA's goal is to provide information and answer questions for eligible properties. Homeowners can bring their applications and related materials and any questions that they might have as well. The open house for residents of Taunton, Lakeville, and Berkeley, that's scheduled for this Thursday, the 30th of April, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at Taunton City Hall. And there's two other ones as well that they're going to be hosting as well. We'll talk a little bit more about that on Friday. But the one for Taunton will be at Taunton City Hall this Thursday, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. For more information, you can visit mbta.com/SCR Noise, or you can contact the project team with any questions at scrnoise@mbta.com. So there you go. All right, our sports segment. As everyone is now aware, if you are a fan of the Boston Red Sox, we have a new manager, a new interim manager. Alex Cora was fired over the weekend after a 17-1 win, which, a little bit of a head scratcher there, but okay. If you were going to fire him, I think it would have been better to fire him after the Yankees series where you got swept instead of waiting for the Red Sox to go on a road trip and do it. Again, I think it would have been better. But I'm not John Henry, so I don't know. I don't know what goes through the heads there and in the Red Sox higher ups there, but it's a bad firing. It really is. Alex Cora, I think, was great for the Boston Red Sox, but when a team gets off to a bad start, they were 10-17. And has really high expectations like the Boston Red Sox had and the higher-ups had for this Red Sox team. And some of the comments that Alex Cora made about the team being young and having to learn the game as well probably didn't make the higher-ups too happy over the weekend, and they came to this decision. Again, when a team starts bad for the year and they have high expectations, who does the ownership and the people higher up blame? Well, it's the manager. And that's what happened. And also the coaching staff, because the coaching staff was also fired as well. Chad Epperson is now the third base coach. Chad Epperson was the manager for the Portland Sea Dogs. He is now no longer the manager. The Portland Sea Dogs. So Kyle Sasla is the interim manager there in Portland. AAA for Worcester, that interim spot goes to Iggy Suarez, and I love this move. Iggy Suarez has been around this organization for quite a while. He was also manager as well for several years, I believe, of Greenville. So I love this move. I absolutely love this move. Greenville won a championship under Iggy as well. I absolutely love this move. This will help Worcester as well. For Portland, I don't know too much about Kyle Sasla at this point. I'll have to learn more about him. I know that he has been in the Portland Sea Dogs organization for quite a few years. So I think, based on that, I think that's a pretty good move too. Having a guy that's familiar with the team, being the manager as well. And Chad Tracy, I think, is going to do good in Boston. It's going to be a learning curve. It's going to be some growing pains there, but they got off to a good start yesterday with a win, and a series win at that as well, with winning against Baltimore. The managers that we've had since 2002 are as follows. 2002 to 2003 was Grady Little. He had a 188 to 136 record with no world championships. He only lasted about a year. He was fired. 2004 to 2011 was Terry Francona. Obviously, Terry Francona, one of the best managers we've had in the past, 25 years, more than that maybe, for the Red Sox. 744 wins to 552 losses with 2 World Series championships. He left. He was fired in 2011. In 2012, 1 season of Bobby Valentine, which, that didn't go well at all. 69 and 93 record for the Boston Red Sox that year. Just a terrible year. John Farrell came in 2013. He managed to 2017. In 2013, they won the World Series. That was a magical year for Boston. And they kind of rallied the city and rallied the team to win the World Series. It was a lot of hard things going on with the city of Boston that year, of course, with the Boston Marathon bombing that year. And they rallied the city, they rallied the team, and it was a magical year for when it comes to winning the World Series. It was really a good year for the Red Sox winning the World Series that year. And it really helped Boston kind of rally around something as well after such a huge tragedy like the Boston Marathon bombing. But John Farrell won that 1 World Series in 2013, 432 wins, 378 losses. Then you had the first era of Alex Cora, 620 altogether, 620 wins to 541 losses. But in his first term as the Boston Red Sox manager, he won the World Series in his first year, just like John Farrell did. Between that, when he was fired the first time, Ron Renicky came in and 60 games, and that was it. And then Alex Cora came back. And Alex Cora has been the head coach, of course, for the Boston Red Sox since 2026, of course, until this past Saturday when he was fired. Now, Chad Tracy, what happens there with Chad Tracy? Well, off to a good start. He's 1-0. So we'll see what happens there as well. And should be joining us here on the phone, Eric Dunn. Good morning, Eric.
Good morning.
How you doing today, Eric? I know you got some exciting news for us today. So I'm just gonna hand the microphone over to you. Well, the metaphorical microphone. You're not sitting in front of a microphone, but I'll hand the stage over to you to talk about what is happening tomorrow for you.
Yeah, I kind of already figured that was the microphone I was having, right?
Go ahead, Eric.
So the news I was going to share with all of you is tomorrow night, as we know, it's Celtics 76ers Game 5. Seas are up 3-1. You know, they have a chance to end this thing and move on to round 2. And I have been announced as the national anthem performer for tomorrow night's game.
That's huge. So how did that come along? How did that materialize for you? Tell us a little about that.
Last April, I got to do their autism acceptance night, and they said they would reach out whenever they would need me. I would check in, once a month at the first day of each month during the regular season, just check in, see what was going on. And all I was told for the whole winter was, we're going to get new faces in, we're going to get new people in. If we need you, then we know where to find you. And 1 year to the day last year that I got the phone call, I basically got an email from the front office basically telling me, that in the event that we don't sweep in the first round and there is a game 5, you're the highest candidate right now to get this game, and we're going to keep you in our thoughts, and we'll finalize everything once it gets closer. Then they lost game 2 last Tuesday, and then the following night on Wednesday, very late, that's when I got the confirmation that I was going to get it, and I put it on my socials on Thursday morning.
So what is that one thing you're looking forward to other than the national anthem when it comes to that game? And then we'll talk about the national anthem itself, what you're looking forward to there. But first off, outside the national anthem, what are you looking forward to when it comes to tomorrow's game for Boston?
I would say that the biggest thing I'm looking forward to is just the atmosphere. This will be my first ever playoff game in person, and it's fitting that my first ever playoff game is my first ever national anthem for a playoff game. So I find it kind of ironic that they're all going to get tied in together, basically kill 2 birds with 1 stone, so to speak. But, I'm just looking forward to seeing the fans and just seeing that type of community just rally behind this team. And, I'm just really hoping that we can just, end this thing and just take some time to just rest, knowing that I'm sure we can use it.
Yeah, absolutely. When it comes to the national anthem, what is the vibe when it comes to doing the national anthem in front of all those crowds at TD Garden compared to, let's say, a Worcester Red Sox game, which I know you did this week as well. Tell us a little bit about that, like what your thoughts are on what is going to be different with this.
I would say that the atmosphere for national anthem for Blue Sox at Ballpark Park, it's like a hit or miss. But for Celtics, you know what you're going to get. Sold out Garden, the whole city's going to be watching you, going to be listening to you. They're most likely going to be recording, posting, and sharing about you. And, that's just the pressure I've waited to get on my back for many years, the pressure I've built myself up to work towards. And, I just feel like that in this moment, I think I'm ready for this. I told you how much my life changed exactly a year ago after that happened, when the Foodie Foundation for Autism got me involved with their foundation. I just celebrated 1 year with them. I mean, everything happens for a reason. Everything in God's plan happens for a reason. If it's not the right timing, then it's not the right time. And I'm excited that, back-to-back Aprils, I get this opportunity. And, I'm not sure if my anthem is televised or not, but I mean, that's my next dream, is to get a televised anthem one day. And I think this is a good step towards it. And, that atmosphere is just going to be just nothing short of electrifying. It's, full-on gratitude that I have even gotten this chance.
I think if it's not televised, at the very least, you'll hear it on the radio. I think for Celtics games, that's what they do. For I think it was it WEI? Not WEI, sorry. WZLX?
They don't do that.
Yeah,
They don't do that. It's only Bruins games on 98.5. It's only Ty Andrews.
Oh no, so it's not the Celtics that do that? Okay. I mean, it's a playoff game though, so you might have a televised national.
I can tell you regarding the information about that. Tomorrow night's game is on ESPN. Tune in around 6:30. My guess is they'll put me on between 7:15 and 6:55. That's only if they will put me on or not. My dad and I, who's coming with me for this game tomorrow, we're actually chatting with the program directors and seeing if we can do a little digging around to see if they can try to cut the feed out completely. Maybe they can give me 30 seconds or something like that, just so I have something to just record, hold on to. But I'm really hoping, man, that, tomorrow night the atmosphere is going to be just as crazy, if not better. And it's just going to be a tremendous night. I mean, another dream has come true thanks to the Boston Celtics.
Well, we wish you all the luck in the world here, Eric, for tomorrow, and we'll be talking with you on Friday about it too. Now, before I let you go, I wasn't going to talk about anything other than this, but I gotta get your thoughts on what happened this weekend, because this is kind of an emergency kind of thing. What are your thoughts there on Alex Cora's firing, Chad Tracy taking over, and not only Chad Tracy taking over, but Epperson as well is now the third base coach. So Portland now has a new interim manager. You got Iggy Suarez in Worcester, and you got Kyle Sasla there in Portland. What are your thoughts about all of this?
The newsman, right? I was literally driving home from Ballard Park with my dad after I sang the Woodstock Autism Acceptance Day. Oh, by the way, just a quick funny story on that.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently that game was regionally televised on NESN, and I didn't realize I was on NESN until a couple people texted me saying, "Oh, hey, dude, you're on TV."
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that online.
I literally had. Wait, you saw that online?
Yeah, I saw that on Facebook. Yeah. Yeah, I saw that on Facebook. That people were talking about it.
Okay, got it. So I was driving home with my dad from Worcester, and I'm literally looking at my phone, and I'm like, wait, what just happened? And I read about it more, and I saw that Cora got fired along with 4 others, and Chad Tracy finally got the call up. And my takeaway on it is this: I mean, this is their first series win so far this season, and I mean, right now you have momentum on your side, and I think for Chad Tracy, it's a long time coming. He deserves this more than anybody, and he's got some of his Woosocks crew up there with him too. And Joey, my takeaway is this: I'm guaranteeing you right now, John Henry was in Breslow's ear, basically telling him this: either you tell them that they're gone, or I'm going to tell you that you're gone. So I really think that Henry might have seen the situation going on with Tom Warner and everyone else in that front office. And I really think that they were giving like an ultimatum saying either make a change or Breslow's going to be gone. And I really feel like that like in this situation, it needed to be done. They finally lifted up their skirt and honestly made a change. But this team should not be at 17 losses. Like, I'm sorry. This should be a much better organization. It should be a much better team. Our roster isn't horrible, but they're not willing to spend the money. Hopefully, this is one of many, many changes, because even though there's a lot of baseball left, they have got to get this season turned around if they want any shot to being a wild card contender.
Yeah, and also the minor leagues as well with Worcester. Iggy Suarez is inheriting a pretty good Worcester team. I mean, you got Nate Eaton that's tearing it up.
Winning, by the way.
They're tearing it up. Iggy Suarez is a great pick for an interim manager there for Worcester. Absolutely. And Kyle Sasla, also for Portland, he is inheriting a very good Portland team with Franklin Arias, the number 1 prospect in the entire farm system. Franklin Arias is destroying people down there in AA. 7 home runs already. When is it getting called up to Worcester? I mean, it should have happened already, in my opinion.
So I basically kind of have a little bit of an update on that too, because I was talking with some of the staff down there in Worcester on Saturday. I feel like this call is going to be very, very close. I'm going to say between Mother's Day and Memorial Day, he should be getting a call, because looking at the situation right now and knowing the amount of injuries that boss is dealing with right now, some call-ups are definitely going to be happening very, very soon. But I just think that, you came out of Baltimore winning your first series of the year, and this is exactly the momentum that you need right now. The only question is, can they build? This is their first back-to-back wins in a while. I mean, they need to start building on this. I mean, close out April on a high, get to May, but dude, this is really the best. I don't know if it was really the best time for the changes to have been made, but I saw the writing on the wall looking at it. I mean, 17-1, knowing how that all went down. This is a team that is in need of a change and in need of a shakeup. Let's just see how well it turns out.
I think the best time to do it was 3 days before, when you finished the series with the New York Yankees at home. I think that was the best time to do it. But I think with this thing, there really is no best time to do it. It's just you got to pull the Band-Aid off. You got to pull the Band-Aid off. and you got to do it.
Nothing has really gone right for these guys
Yeah.
all year, man.
Yeah.
So,
So
like, that's the irony that we're talking about this right now, that they're really in a lot of trouble and we're just in the first month of the season in April. That's the issue with this organization, is that they don't have a direction and they don't have a clear vision. And right now, in order for them to get that vision to be unblurry, they need to make the changes. Right now, they made it. I give credit to Bledsoe and that front office rather than having the guts to actually make those firings. My big question is this. Are they next, depending on how this season goes? I think so, but we'll have to wait and see. Plenty of ball left.
yeah, and I gotta say this: the shield is now off on Breslow. The shield is now off. Alice Core is gone. Now this is all on Breslow. If they cannot turn it around by the end of the year, Breslow will be gone. So, all right, we'll talk to you more on Friday about all this good stuff, all this interesting stuff happening in the sports world. But we'll talk to you on Friday during the second hour of Hometown Talk, Eric.
Sounds great, man.
And again, congratulations on the national anthem for tomorrow. And we'll talk more about that on Friday.
I hope they have a good story.
All right, sounds good. See you on Friday, Eric.
See you on Friday, man.
Yep, bye-bye. As Eric Dunn giving us a call. We'll talk more about that, all of that stuff on Friday. With that, it is 12 o'clock. I want to thank everyone for calling, for listening in. Sorry, not calling in. We only got one call in today. For listening to today's program. And I'll be back on Friday with Eric during the second hour to talk more sports and his national anthem experience as well. Playoff Celtics national anthem experience. And also during the first hour, we'll be replaying an interview that I did back a couple of weeks ago on Middleboro in Review with Stephen Provost of Touring New England. We'll be replaying that one as well during the first hour of Friday's program. Until then, I hope everyone has a great week. Bye-bye.
And stream and